Survivor is heating up as last week 2 tribe members got their torches snuffed. So let's get you caught up on everything that happened in episode 7. Okay, so here's what's exciting about this, I guess, from the viewer's perspective, but probably not for the players, is they arrive to the challenge, quote unquote, and they find out that 2 players are going to go home, but also 2 players are going to win immunity, which then also means the entire tribe that's now merged, quote unquote, is split in half. So lots of things happening here. But the biggest twist of all is that the first person that's eliminated does not get to be a part of the jury, which is like the biggest slap in the face. Biggest slap in the face, if you ask me.
You made it all that way and going home.
Yes. So let's get into the challenge. So the challenge starts, or before the challenge starts, I mean, they pull rocks out of a bag, and that's how they divide up their teams. And then they play a Survivor Classic, which I'm so excited about. So you see these big poles behind them. So it's as simple as it looks. You literally just hang onto the pole as long as you can, which is insane, first of all. Also, I heard something interesting on the Survivor podcast that I didn't even really realize this when I watched it, but I guess players were at different levels starting, and they asked why that is.
They got to pick their level, though, didn't they?
Yes, and that's what Jeff said, is that you get to pick your height level because some people it really is a fear, and it's a lot taller than you think. But apparently, moving forward, they're not going to allow that anymore. Everyone has to start at the top.
I mean, it makes sense because then you're on level playing field then. Because, I mean, if you start at the very top and somebody starts on the first rung, I mean, obviously the person on the bottom's got such a easier time to get out.
But I love this challenge. Like I said, it's kind of like a Survivor Classic, if you will. Good people have always won it. And it's just interesting, like, people's strategies. So this is the left side of the red group, I guess, if you will, which Dee, her whole thing was, which is like really goofy, is that she just has big toes, apparently.
And she, in one episode,
she could just hold on a lot tighter.
It.
And so it was like really funny that was her strategy. She ends up winning for her side, little spoiler here. But it's so interesting, though, because really there's no, you never know who's going to win. Like, this is kind of like a great equalizer, if you will. And it's nice, too, because we see a lot of men dominating these challenges, but I feel like women typically pull out for this one, which is always exciting to see. Just different dynamics, you know, different changes. So Kelly ends up winning for the blue half of the tribe. And then the next picture, as you'll see, is that Dee won her immunity. Now, here's what's interesting. So we get back to camp for now the split up tribes. And literally, it's so confusing where things are going to go because there's so many different names thrown out. The other thing about being a viewer and having opinions about this that's hard is, like, you so strongly disagree with what they're saying, you know? Like, I don't even remember which half had Bruce, but the half that had Bruce, we've not liked him all season.
And I wanted Bruce gone.
I wanted him to go so bad.
It would have been a perfect time to blindside him.
And his name was brought up, technically, so I'll give that to the players. But he does, a spoiler alert, he does not end up going home. We'll get to that in a second. But it's so frustrating because it's like you sit at home and you're like, okay, it's a double elimination. They're split tribe. This is smaller numbers. This is the perfect time to get certain people out. And it's so frustrating when they don't do that, which is like just so aggravating. So we go to the first tribal council, okay, and you're like, what's going to happen? This is the one where it seems like it's between Sifu and Bruce, right? And like I said, it's kind of a toss-up, but ultimately Sifu is the first one to go and tribal won. Now, I will say, I was a little bit sad to see him go. I didn't necessarily want him to win, but he was a really good sport. He was one of my preseason interviews.
And he was just
so
an interesting character. Running around, somersaulting in the jungle.
I know. He's just like such a character. He does all his like, he's like very like spiritual and very like Zen, which was kind of neat to watch. So I love that piece. Also, insider real fast, Jay Maya, who was eliminated maybe the last episode, she's a singer and Sifu plays guitar, and they actually did a concert together in St. Louis this past week and the weekend before, which is so funny.
Well, what's funny too is like when they were doing like stuff on the island, I felt like Jay did not want to like collaborate with him.
So it's like very funny that they actually did that in real life. But that just shows you like game versus reality, I guess. So
very true.
We go to the second tribal, and this one was a shocker to me. Caleb ends up going home. And the crazy thing about this is that last week, we'll remember the huge move that finally happened where Caleb is unanimously voted out, but his Shut in the Dark saves him, so they have to re-vote. And I don't know, for me, is Caleb a threat? Yeah, he was definitely a social strategist and a great player. But my thought is if there's someone that good and as big of a target in the game, keep him in. Keep him in a little longer.
Well, and that's what Jake wanted. Jake was like, I want to keep him in. He's going to be a shield for me, which, I mean, yes, that is a good move because also, you know, Jake has that physicality for challenges too, so Caleb wasn't as much of a physical threat, but he was definitely a strong social player.
And Jake and Caleb did try and get Katurah to vote against, was it Austin or Julie?
It was Julie, I believe.
Julie, yeah. But, I mean, here's the thing, that they lied to Katurah about Bruce's idol, so it's like, well, how do you expect her to just flip all of a sudden when you haven't proven your trust at all to her up to this point?
And that's what she's like. She's like, I don't know if I can trust them.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, I thought we were Bellows strong.
Yes.
And here they are keeping these secrets from me.
Yes. I'm loving this season, seriously. And if you are a Survivor super fan like I am, tonight the Survivor auction is returning. They have not done this in the new era. It's one of my favorite things they do.
This will be my first time with the auction.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun to watch them battle it out. It's good stuff. All right, well, Survivor, brand new episodes Wednesdays on CBS or right here on Color 10, or you can stream it on Paramount Plus as well.